Hello, my dear students. Myself, Dr. Pitambar Umne, founder Botany for You, and working as Associate Professor and Head Department of Botany, Dharampet MP Deo Memorial Science College, Nagpur, Maharashtra, India. Welcome you all in this online platform for the students of Life Sciences, Botany for You. In last two classes, we have seen the two different lectures on Semester 6, Paper 1, Unit 1 and Unit 2, which is based upon plant physiology. Today, we will see the MCQ type of the question on Semester 6, Paper 2, that is Plant Ecology, Techniques and Utilization of Plants. The first two units are based upon the ecology, third unit is on techniques, and the fourth unit is on utilization of plants. If you are new on this YouTube channel or not yet subscribed our YouTube channel, then kindly like, share and subscribe our YouTube channel Botany for You. So let's see today's lecture on plant ecology, which includes 60 MCQs based upon the first unit of Semester 6, Paper 2 unit. In this unit, the plant succession and the plant adaptation is included. The plant succession includes the causes of succession and the two different type of the succession, that is hydrosphere and xerosphere. In plant adaptation, morphological, anatomical and physiological responses of hydrophytes, xerophytes and halophytes. So in this lecture, 30 MCQs are from the plant succession and 30 MCQs are from the plant adaptations, and that are very much sufficient to the students who are facing the online examination conducted by the universities. So the first question, the orderly changes in communities is termed as, means whenever we are talking about the any area where there are the different type of the living organisms that are always changing, and such a type of the communities which are always changing are known as community dynamics. And this process of the change in the community with respect to the time is also known as ecological succession, and hence both A and B is the answer for this question. Then which of the following is involved in ecological succession? If we see the complete process of the succession, either the hydrosphere or the xerosphere. Changes in species structure and community processes with time. This is actually the complete method of the succession, and hence it is the correct one. Then modification of the physical environment by the community, because every time during the growth of the organisms there is a change in the physical environment of that particular habitat, and hence this is also the right statement. Then it culminates in the stabilized ecosystem, and when we find the climax formation or the forest formation, then it is nothing but the stabilized ecosystem. So all these things are correct, and hence all the above becomes the answer for this question. Then which of the following are initial or initiating causes of the succession? Means when we are talking about the any process of the succession, then what are the initial or initiating causes? The first one, that is erosion or the deposition. Second one, wind and the fire. If we see both all these different processes which are involved, they are responsible to initiate the process of succession, and hence both A and B is the answer for this question. The succession which start from previously built up substrata with already existing living matter is called as. This means that instead of the bare rock or instead of the water body, if there was a earlier vegetation or the living organism, and if such a type of the organisms are later on again replaced by the another community or the another type of the vegetation, then such type of the succession is known as the secondary succession, and hence the secondary succession is a correct answer of this question. If we see the primary succession, then the hydrosphere and the xerosphere are the best example. Then autotrophic succession means when it is replaced by the autotrophic organism, and when it is replaced by the heterotrophic organism, then it is known as the autotrophic and the heterotrophic succession respectively. Then which of the following succession initiates on the rocks? If we see the development of the community from the rock, then it is known as the lithosphere. So lithosphere becomes the answer for this question. While when it is initiated from the sand, then it is known as the samosphere, and when it is initiated from the saline soil, then it is known as the halosphere. So these two terms we can also remember in addition to that of the lithosphere. The succession caused largely by any other external condition and not by existing organism is called as. So we have the option that is secondary succession, then heterotrophic succession, allogenic succession, and none of the above. So if we see the secondary succession, just we have seen in the question number 4. Then heterotrophic also we have seen there, and the remaining is that is the allogenic succession. So such a type of the succession which is caused by the other external condition and not by the existing organism is called as. So such a type of the changes in a particular habitat with respect to certain external condition instead of the organisms of that habitat. So such a type of the succession is known as allogenic type of the succession. Then establishment of plants or animals in a new habitat is called as. If you see the development of the different organism during the course of the succession, there is a need to establish these different organisms in the new set of the environment in the habitat, and this process of the establishment of the plants as well as the animals, and that is known as the ectasis. Then which of the following is known as primary or chief cause of the stabilization of the community? So if we see the different factors which are responsible for the primary cause or the chief cause of the stabilization of the community, then it is the climatic cause, because it is continuously responsible for the change in the vegetation or change in the different communities in the particular area, and hence it becomes the answer. The development of bare area without any form of life is called as. If you see the correct meaning, development of the bare area without any form of life means if there was earlier the life on that particular habitat, and if it is converted into the bare area, then that process is known as the nudation. So we have to remember the meaning of nudation in this question. Then which of the following causes are responsible for the nudation? If we see the process of the nudation means to eradicate or to replace the available vegetation or the communities, then what are the different factors which are responsible for this process? And that is the landslides and volcanic activities, then frost and the fire, and even the man's activity like the urbanization, industrialization are also responsible for the nudation, and hence all the above becomes the answer for this one. The mechanism of modification of the environment through the influence of living organism is known as. So, if you see the different living organisms which are living in a particular habitat, they are also responsible to contribute in the change in environmental condition. So, such type of the contribution or the modification of the environment with the help of certain living organisms in that habitat, and that is known as the reaction. Which of the following is not the process includes in innovation? If you see the different processes which are included in the innovation is nothing but the occupation of the different communities in a particular area. So, that include the migration, means to come the different organism or to reach the different organism from the other sites in a particular habitat. Then its establishment into that new habitat, that is nothing but the acacia, and because of the reproduction there will be formation of the different communities or the aggregation of the communities, or the number of organisms will be increased in that particular area, and that is known as the aggregation. And hence all these different processes will be involved in the process of innovation. But here the question is asked, not the process. So, none of these becomes the answer for this question. The formation of climax community of climax or climax stage is called as. If you see the climax stage or the climax community formation in any type of the succession, that may the hydrosphere or that may the xerosphere, then it is nothing but the formation of the trees. So, in these processes, when there is a formation of the trees or the forest, such a type of the formation of the community is known as the climax community. And when there is a formation of the forest or the trees, at that time it remain as it is, and hence it is known as the stabilization. Then which of the following are pioneer plant community in hydrarch type of the succession? Means if you see the initiation of the succession in a water body, then first of all the type of organism which are developing here, and they are nothing but the phytoplanktons, and hence the pioneer plants or the pioneer plant communities which are developing in the hydrarch type of the succession, they are the phytoplanktons, and hence the phytoplankton become the answer for this question. Then which of the following stage in hydrosphere is also known as amphibious stage? If you see the different stages like the phytoplankton stage, then rooted submerged stage, rooted floating stage, and the reed swamp stage. So, out of these, here these are the completely aquatic stages in the hydrosphere. But if you see the reed swamp stage, that has the characteristic feature which show the amphibious nature, or they are growing in such a type of the condition when there is a middle age or the middle stage in between the hydrophyte and the mesophyte, and hence the reed swamp stage is also known as the amphibious stage of the hydrosphere. Which of the following are rooted submerged plants? If you see the Hydrilla, then Vallisneria and Utricularia. So, all these three are the submerged plants, and also they are the rooted plants, and hence all the above becomes the answer for this question. Such type of the questions are added here to provide the knowledge to the students about the different plants which are considered in the different categories in the hydrophytes, xerophytes, hydrosphere, xerosphere, and halophytes also. Then which of the following plants grow in a phytoplankton stage of the hydrosphere? So, phytoplankton, that we have seen earlier, that it is a pioneer stage or the first stage in the process of the hydrosphere. So, the blue-green algae and the green algae, diatoms and the bacteria all these are the different phytoplanktons which are growing in the water, and it is the first stage of the hydrosphere, and hence all the above becomes the answer for this question. Then which of the following is also known as seral communities? If we see the total number of the different living organisms which are involved in the process of the hydrosphere, they are categorized into the pioneer, seral communities, and the climax formation. So, if you see the submerged or the floating stage, reed swamp stage, and the sage meadow stage, all these three different stages of the hydrosphere comes under the seral communities. So, all the above becomes the answer for this question. Then which of the following stages belongs to climax communities? If you see the woodland stage, forest stage, both A and B, and none of the above. So, the woodland stage is also the stage of the seral communities, and the forest stage is the only one which is the part of the climax formation or the climax community, and hence it is the answer for this question. Then which of the following stage shows the growth in marshy habitat? So, marshy habitat is nothing but the waterlogged areas in which the amount of water is very much high in the soil. So, if we see such type of the condition, that is the reed swamp stage and the sage meadow stage, both are the condition which are growing in the marshy type of the habitat. The pioneer community develops during the xerosphere is, earlier we have seen the hydrosphere, but when we are talking about the xerosphere is the condition which is initiated from the rocks or the bare land, and in such a type of the cases, the first type of the organisms which are developing, and they are the crustose lichens which are growing on the rocks, and they are responsible to synthesize the certain acid which are responsible for or contribute in the formation of the soil, and hence the crustose lichen becomes the answer for this question, as they are growing as a pioneer community. Then which of the following is not includes in seral communities in xerarch type of the succession? So, we have the answer, that is the foliose lichen, moss stage, and the herb stage. So, all these three, they are the communities of the seral community, and hence none of the above becomes the answer for this question, as the question asks not includes in. Development of mesophytic trees during xerarch includes. If we see the development of the different trees during the xerarch, so that is nothing but the climax community. Last time we have seen in a hydrosphere that development of the trees or the development of the forest, that is nothing but the climax community formation. So, in any type of the succession, when there is a development of the forest or the trees, that is nothing but the climax formation, and hence the climax community becomes the answer for this question. Then which of the following communities are involved in withering of rocks by secreting the acids? So, just we have seen here the pioneer communities, which includes the crustose lichens. So, the crustose lichens are responsible for the synthesis of the certain acids and are involved in the withering of the rocks or the soil formation, and hence it becomes the answer for this question. Which of the following is true in relation to succession? If you see the complete process of the succession, then what actually happens during the succession? So, the change in the species composition means this is the process which is carried out during the succession, during even the hydrarch or the xerarch type of the succession, means this is the right one. Then change in the variety and the diversity, means every time there is an invasion, migration, acasis in the process of the succession which result into the change in the variety as well as the diversity. Then even because of the reproduction and competition, aggregation, there is a change in the community biomass. So all these three different processes are involved in the process of succession, and hence all the above becomes the answer for this question. Then which of the following is true in relation to ecological succession? If you see the ecological succession, again in addition to that of the above characters, an increase in organic matter and biomass in autotrophic succession. You have to remember this sentence properly, because the biomass increase in a autotrophic succession, but the biomass decrease in a heterotrophic type of the succession. So decrease in the heterotrophic type of the succession, and both the statements are the correct one, and hence both A and B becomes the answer for this question. Then which of the following plants grow in floating stage in hydrosphere? If you see the free floating stage or the floating and the rooted stage, so here the nymphea, which are the rooted blood floating plants, then Traphanatans, which are also the floating plant, and Pistia, that is also the floating plant. So all these three are the floating plants which are developed during the hydrosphere, and hence all the above becomes the answer for this question. Then which of the following plants grow during reed swamp stage? So if you see the development of the reed swamp stage, means these are the plants which are usually growing in a marshy type of the habitat, and that includes the Typha, Sagittaria and the Scirpus. So all these three different type of the plants are growing in the reed swamp stage, and hence all the above becomes the answer for this question. Then which of the following plants grow during sage meadow stage in the hydrosphere? So the Juncus, then Cypress and Eleocharis. So these are the plants which are amphibious type of the organism and which are growing on the moist soil. So such type of the plants growth is known as the sage meadow stage, and hence all the above becomes the answer for this question. Then which of the following stage is common to both hydrosphere and xerosphere? So if you see the common thing in the hydrosphere as well as the xerosphere, and that is nothing but only the climax formation or the stabilization, and this process of the climax formation or the stabilization is nothing but the forest stage formation, and hence it becomes the answer. Then which of the following plants are called rooted emergent hydrophytes? Means these plants having the roots in the soil inside the water, but the rest of the plant body is present above the water. So the Sagittaria and the Ranunculus, both the plants having the same type of the condition, that they are rooted and emergent, means some of the part of the plant body or the aerial part is present above the water body, and hence both A and B becomes the answer for this question. Then Ceratophyllum includes in which of the following category of the hydrophytes? So if you see the Ceratophyllum, then you will find that it is a submerged plant and floating hydrophytes, and this is the correct answer. There are no roots, and hence it is not the submerged hydrophyte, and even it is not the rooted emergent hydrophyte, just like to that of the Sagittaria or the Ranunculus, and hence A is the correct answer of this question. Then which of the following is true in case of adaptation of plants as hydrophytes? Means when the plants are adapted to the hydrophytic condition, then what will be the characteristic features? So the roots may be entirely absent. This is the correct one, because there is no necessity of the roots to the plants which are growing inside the water. So in many plants or the many aquatic plants, the roots are found to be absent. Then root hairs are absent or poorly developed. There is no need of the root hairs which are growing inside the water, and hence very commonly the root hairs are very oftenly absent or poorly developed. Then root cap is usually absent because there is no necessity of protection of the roots also, and hence all are correct, and hence all the above becomes the answer for this question. Then which of the following hydrophytic plants roots are absent? Means if we see the different hydrophytes, that is the Wolffia, then Salvinia and Ceratophyllum. So in all these, here there is a absence of roots, and these are the plants which are submerged plants or the floating plants. So all the above becomes the answer for this question. Then root cap is replaced by root pockets in. You have to remember this one, that is the root cap is replaced by the root pockets, and that is a characteristic feature of the Eichhornia, which is one of the hydrophytes. The stem in hydrophytes is, if we see the different characteristic features of the root, stem and leaves in the hydrophytes, then we will find that the stem is spongy, it is flexible and stoloniferous for the process of the reproduction, because very commonly the vegetative type of the reproduction is preferred by the aquatic plants. So all the above becomes the answer for this question. Then which of the following is true in relation to hydrophytes? That is, the roots are either absent or poorly developed. Then stem is slender, flexible and spongy, and leaves are translucent. So if you see all these three characteristics, they are the characteristic features of the hydrophytes, and hence all the above becomes the answer for this question. Then which of the following characters are not found in hydrophytes? See, not found in hydrophytes. The cuticle is absent and or poorly developed and thin. So this is a characteristic feature of the hydrophyte. Then presence of single layered epidermis with thin walled parenchymatous cells. This is also the characteristic feature of the hydrophytes. Then presence of air spaces in cortical regions, that this is also the characteristic feature of the hydrophytes, and hence not found in hydrophytes means all these three characters are found in the hydrophytes, and hence none of the above becomes the answer for this question. Then multilayered epidermis is a characteristic feature of, usually the such type of the condition is responsible to avoid the rate of the transpiration or to decrease the rate of the transpiration, and there is a necessity to check the transpiration by the xerophytes, and hence the multi-layered epidermis is found in the plants like to that of the xerophytes, and best example you can find, that is a Nerium indicum. So in a Nerium there is a presence of multi-layered epidermis. Then which of the following characteristics are hydrophytes? First one, that is the absence of hypodermis. This is the correct one. Then absence of bundle sheath around vascular bundles. Bundle sheath are also absent in the aquatic plants, and the mechanical tissues are usually absent or poorly developed, and this is also the correct one, and hence all the above becomes the answer for this question. Then which of the following characters are shown by the leaves of submerged hydrophytes? So the cuticle is absent. This is a very common characteristic feature of the hydrophytes. Then absence of stomata. When they are present inside the water, there is no need of the stomata for the exchange of the gases. Then mechanical tissues are absent. So there is no need of the mechanical tissues when the plants are growing inside the water, and hence all these three are the correct one with respect to the leaves of the hydrophytes, and hence all the above becomes the answer for this question. Then which of the following characters are found in xerophytes? See the xerophytes. So the sunken stomata means the sunken stomata are the deeply seated stomata, means their guard cells are present below the epidermal cell, which are responsible to avoid or to reduce the rate of the transpiration, and that is required by the xerophytes. Then thick cuticle, which is also responsible to avoid the transpiration, and multi-layered epidermis, that is also responsible to avoid the transpiration. So all these characteristics are responsible to check the transpiration or to reduce the rate of the transpiration, and hence all the above becomes the answer for this question. The saline soils contain high concentration of, if you see, the saline soils means presence of the salts in the soil where there is a growth of the specific type of the plants. So the sodium chloride, then magnesium chloride and magnesium sulfate. So all these three different type of the salts are present in the saline soil, and hence all the above becomes the answer for this question. Then mangroves are examples of, we know the mangroves type of the vegetation is usually found at the margin of the oceans, and the water which is present in the ocean having the high concentration of the salts. So in such a type of the condition, if the plants are growing, then that are known as the halophytes. Halophytes are the plants which are growing in a soil where there is a high concentration of the salts. Then which of the following pair is not correct? If you see, the lithophilous plants growing in the soil, then Thermophilus growing on the sand, then Pedophilus growing on the mud, and Halophilus growing on the swamp. So if you see these different, so correct pair here is rock. So the soil is wrong one, and hence here this is not the correct one, and hence it is the answer for this question. Then which of the following characters are shown by halophytes? So the presence of pneumatophores and vivipary. If you see the pneumatophores, these are nothing but the respiratory roots, and these are negatively geotrophic. Another one, as the soil is saline, there is difficulty in the germination of the seed, and hence the seed germinate on the plant and then it fall in the form of small plantlet. So such type of the condition is known as the vivipary, and hence both these are the characteristic feature of the halophytes, and hence both A and B becomes the answer for this question. Then which of the following characters are shown by halophytes? First one, that is the very thick cuticle. This is a characteristic feature of the halophytes. Then multi-layered pericycle. This is also the characteristic feature of the halophytes. Then hypodermis, heavily thick and several layered. This is also the characteristic feature of the halophytes. Halophytes are also responsible to conserve the water as they are growing in the marshy places and having the high concentration of the salts, and hence here all the above becomes the answer for this question. Then CAM, that is the crassulacean acid metabolism, as an alternative pathway for photosynthesis is found in. If you see the crassulacean acid metabolism, which is the characteristic feature of the member Crassulaceae, these are the plants, that is the xerophytic plants, and hence the crassulacean acid metabolism type of the pathway of the photosynthesis is found in the xerophytes, and hence it is the answer for this question. Then temporary wilting at room temperature is found in hydrophytes, xerophytes and halophytes. So if we see all these things, the characteristic feature of the wilting of the plants at the room temperature, and that is the characteristic feature of the mesophytes, and hence here the mesophyte is not there in the option, and hence none of the above becomes the answer for this question. Then absence of erynchyma means the tissues or the cells in which there are the presence of the air spaces is characteristic feature of. If we see the air spaces in the cortical region or in the leaf in the mesophyll region, so such a type of the erynchyma is present in the hydrophytes. So here the question is asked absence of erynchyma. So presence of erynchyma is a characteristic feature of the hydrophytes, and such a type of the erynchyma is found to be absent in the xerophytes also as well as the halophytes also, and hence both A and B becomes the answer for this question. Then which of the following plant is an example of xerophytes? So the Acacia nilotica, which is one of the xerophytes. Just I told you multilayered epidermis, that is the Nerium indicum, again it is a xerophytes, and Casuarina equisetifolia, this is also one of the xerophytes, and hence all the above becomes the answer for this question, as all these three are the examples of xerophytes. Then which of the following plant is halophyte? Pistia is hydrophyte, Opuntia is xerophyte, Rhizophora is halophyte, and hence the Rhizophora becomes the correct answer for this question. Then which of the following characteristics are of leaf of the halophytes? So well developed cuticle, which is the characteristics of the halophyte. Then stomata confined to lower epidermis, that is also the characteristic feature of the halophytes. Then presence of corky areas on ventral side, this is also the characteristic feature of the halophytes, and hence all the above becomes the answer for this question. Then presence of H-shaped heavily thickened spicules. So keep in mind, in the cortex that provide the mechanical support is characteristic feature of. So such a type of the spicules which are present in the cortical region of the stem, and that is a characteristic feature of the halophytes. Then rolling of leaves is the characteristic feature of. In most of the cases, the rolling of the leaves is responsible to reduce the rate of the transpiration, and such a type of the characteristic feature is very commonly found in the monocotyledons. So this rolling of the leaves is a specific characteristic feature of the xerophytes. Then root system is very extensively developed in. So if we see the development of the roots which are responsible for the absorption of the water and the mineral as well as to anchor the plant body in the soil. So if we see the hydrophytes, xerophytes and the halophytes, then the extensive development of the root is required by the xerophytes, as they are growing in a soil where there is a scarcity of the water, and hence the xerophytes becomes the answer for this one. Already we have seen in hydrophytes there is absence of the roots or poorly development of the roots. Then which of the following plants are not xerophytes? Not xerophytes: Ziziphus jujuba Baer, Prosopis juliflora, and both A and B, and none of the above. Ziziphus jujuba and Prosopis juliflora both are the xerophytic plants, and hence both A and B becomes the answer for this question. Then which of the following plants are included in xerophytes? So the ephemeral annuals, then succulents and non-succulents. So if you see the different plants which are included in the xerophytic category, so that include the ephemeral annuals, that is having the very short lifespan, which are growing only during the rainy season and unable to sustain the high temperature. Then many are modified as a succulent plants like the Opuntia, and many are the non-succulent like the Calotropis procera, Gygipus and Acacia nilotica. So all these three different type of the plants are found in the xerophytes, and hence all the above becomes the answer for this question. Then the ephemeral annuals are also called as. So the first one, that is the draft evaders, and second one, that is the draft escapers. So both these terms are commonly used to the ephemeral annuals, and hence both A and B becomes the answer for this question. Then which of the following plants are growing in a physiologically dry soil? So physiologically dry soil is term to the soil which is saline or having the high concentration of the salts, and the plants which are growing in such a type of the soil where there is a higher concentration of the salts, and that are known as the halophytes. So friends, here we have completed the 60 MCQs on the first unit of the paper 2 in semester 6 botany. So in the next lecture we will see the second unit of this same paper on the ecology. So thank you very much for listening of this complete lecture based upon the ecology. If you like this lecture and it is useful to you, then kindly like, share and subscribe our YouTube channel Botany for You, and also press bell icon for the alerts of every lecture to be uploaded on different life science titles. Thanks a lot once again.